Hello and welcome. I am Luba the Huntress from On the Prowl Gaming, bringing you part 2 of my Apex merchandise review series. In part 1, we overlooked t-shirts and looked at materials, pricing, and gave a general concise idea of if these items are actually worth it or not. Again, just as in part 1, this is just my personal opinion, so feel free to try out and buy what you will. This part 2 will be focusing on more outdoor wear such as hoodies, jackets, sweatpants, as well as hats, and some other items as well. Again, some of these items may not be currently on the official Apex online store, but I did provide screenshots and pricing should they ever come back on the store again. Now let's get to it, shall we? And to start us off, we have the Revnant Apex Legends long sleeve t-shirt. Try to say that 5 times fast. Oh man. This shirt is super comfy and unfortunately is one of those items that is no longer in the store. But if it does come back again, the previous price was $29.95. A little bit pricey for a long sleeve, but this shirt is so dark and rich. It's really a nice piece to wear, especially if it's kind of chilly out. It's relatively thin. It's very much like a t-shirt, except, long sleeve. And the print on it is more of like a vinyl than kind of like a screen print as some of the other items on here. That's why a little bit of the color is actually slightly fading on the edges. You can see here with the red kind of fading out into white a little bit, but definitely for the uses I've worn it for, it's been holding up really good. This shirt is really nice to wear. I love using it as a little accent piece with the red along the sleeves. Death is coming, really fun and impactful. Super great shirt. Would love to see it back in the store again. For materials, it is very reminiscent of a t-shirt, so I will knock it down a little bit, give it a 3 out of 5. And for price, it's a little iffy. Again, $30, but overall, definitely worth it. Next up, another long sleeve with Rampart Apex Legends long sleeve t-shirt. This is another one of my favorite items that I wear quite often, and it's still in the store for $31.95, though you may have to check in on the site every once in a while since inventory does change up quite a bit. For this one, I really love the different implementations of the logos and text, and the printing itself is like almost embedded into the fabric, which is super cool. Very different printing than the Revnant one. This one, again, the ink looks like it's embedded within the fibers, whereas the Revnant one was very much like a vinyl that you can, pick at with your nail or something. This one has really rich colors with the bright pink. Really love this shirt. The cuffs come with a bit of elastic so they don't just flare out like the Revnant one. But overall, this is such a great long sleeve. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 for materials because it really is a step up than the Revnant one. And for pricing, again, it is almost $2 more than the Revnant one, so I will have to knock it down to 3 out of 5 stars. But overall, I would say this long sleeve shirt is so worth it. Next up, we have the Apex Legends Snapfront. This one, they usually have it on sale, which is great. If you are in desperate need of a Windbraker or some Apex merch. It's usually up on the shop. Full price $49.95, on sale $29.97. Don't really remember if that sale price fluctuates or not, but usually I do see it on sale. I've rarely seen it for a full price, and I usually see it at the store. I don't think many people buy this item since it's always on sale, and also it's expensive. Full price. This Windbreaker is a windbreaker, and it is a very basic windbreaker at that. It has polyester-y type material, nylon material that has no flex to it at all, so it fits very awkwardly if you are someone with a more wholesome body type, you know what I'm saying? And the inside is latexy in the sense of how it feels to the touch. When I've worn it with a t-shirt underneath, I've actually felt very cold, and I haven't really worn it out when it's been kind of, you know, sweater weathery, so I haven't really tested out its windbreakerness. It's a jacket, it's a windbreaker. It doesn't fit very well. It is what it is. Not my favorite, especially for the price. Definitely not worth it in my opinion. The material is very bare bones. The price is ridiculous for what you're getting. I would say skip this one. Yeah, just skip this one. Now from worst to best, we have the Apex Legends Knockdown Hooded Pullover. This hoodie is super comfy. It's actually really stretchy, and luckily I believe they are still in stock on the official site for $44.99. I know, $50 hoodie, yikes. But I kid you not, this hoodie super comfy, like pajama level comfy. The sigil detail on the front that's embossed is super cool. I don't really know what material that is that makes it pop out, but it's a nice subtle detail that isn't, you know, blaring Apex in your face, but kind of is in like a cool chic way. I wear a size 2X and this fits perfectly, and again, it has a really good amount of stretch to it, so if you're worried about it being too tight or not comfy, like legitimately, I wore this to bed, you'll be fine. It's super comfy. It does have some really nice red accent pieces along the zippers. Both sides of the zippers actually have this nice little red accent along it, and the inclusion of the Apex sigil on the zipper handle is just French kiss, like perfect detailing, really great. And that really rich, deep, dark black color really works well, especially since, as in part 1, I've noticed a lot of the black colored items can come in a varying degree of darkness. This hoodie really comes in a rich color. The hood of the hoodie actually has 2 seams running along the top, which kind of helps shape the head a little better than some hoodies that just have like the one string all around and that's it. Again, more material, I guess that's why it's more expensive, but it's really high quality, 5 out of 5 for materials. Price could be better, but honestly for what you're getting, all the little accent pieces, the rich fibers, the rich color, the rich material, 5 out of 5, definitely worth it. Please go grab one. Alrighty, next up we have the Apex Legends Knockdown Jogger. This one is very much the counterpart to the Knockdown hoodie as shown previously. It has that same Apex Legends sigil on the one side of the pant leg, and it is currently still in the shop for $39.99. Highly recommend these pairs of joggers. They're actually really stretchy, very much of the same material as a hoodie, so it has a great amount of flex and comfort to it. The woven material of the joggers is super soft, and it's actually pretty thick as well. Not crazy thick that it'll leave you sweating or anything, but it keeps you warm and very comfy. Again, has that similar kind of raised sigil area on the pant, very much like the center piece of the hoodie. And the rich dark material, again, very reminiscent of the hoodie I showed earlier. It's a really dark, rich black that really has a nice chic kind of look to it. And here with the drawstring waistband, it's actually not tight at all or too loose at all. It adjusts really well, and it's not itchy or uncomfortable at all. It's actually really soft. Along with elastics here, it has a type of elastic band thing around the ankle, which I really love. It kind of drives me crazy if like the bottom of a pant is like super loose and flailing everywhere. So I really appreciate that they added that little extra detail there at the bottom of these joggers. Overall, I really enjoy these joggers. It has a super nice, rich, dark color, really comfortable materials, solid 5 out of 5 for materials. For pricing, you know, $40 for a pair of joggers, it's a bit much. I'm gonna have to knock it down a little bit, give it a 4 out of 5, but overall, these joggers are definitely worth it. And coming right along, we have the Apex Legends Loot Tick Lounge Pants. These pants are still currently on the store for $29.99. These pants are 100% polyester, quote unquote. Actually is 100% cotton, which, as I've discussed in a previous video, materials on the site to reality actually vary, but overall these pairs of lounge pants are comfy, and you know, they do the job of pajama bottom. It has a nice little attention to detail with the Apex Legends logo right on the drawstrings there. And overall, these lounge pants fit relatively well. If anything, maybe slightly to the looser end, but overall, just use the drawstrings and you're fine. Another feature of these lounge pants is it actually has a buttoned front area, and the only area of actual design and art on it is, I believe, on the upper left side of the pants that actually has that actual heat pressed Apex logo, as well as the little loot tick as well, which is a nice detail to add. I just really wish they had a little bit more around the pants. It kind of feels empty. This one, unlike the other pants, actually have that kind of loose, flaily bottoms that I don't really enjoy, and I'm not a fan, but you know, they're pajama bottoms. They do the job. For materials, I'm gonna have to give this one a 3 out of 5. You know, first of all, it lies straight up from the site. It could be better, could be worse, but you know, overall, if you're looking for some nice little Apex themed pajama bottoms, you really can't go wrong here. I would say this one is worth it. Next up, we have one of my favorite items, the Apex Legends Sigil Knit Beanie. This one is no longer in the store, unfortunately, but when it was on there for $19.95. They do have another beanie on the online store, but it's a different type of beanie. This one is kind of like your traditional knit beanie that folds in the front and is pretty thick actually, and is super comfy. The other beanie, I believe, has a little bit more texture inside and just isn't as long as this one is. Again, this one folds over, is really stretchy, has that nice tight knitted material, but again has some flex to it as well. It has a really nice Apex sigil embroidered on the front there, nice and bright. Really love the color and the contrast. For materials, definitely a 5 out of 5, and for the price, $20. You can't really beat that. I mean, it is a little pricey for a beanie, but for this really nice quality Apex Sigil beanie, definitely worth it. Next up, we have the Apex Account Level Stretch Snapback. I actually didn't realize this was a flat cap when I first bought it. I thought it would be more like a baseball cap, but you know, I should have known better. When I actually read the description, it actually says flat brim on it, but either way, it's a really solid piece for only $20. I think it's a pretty good bang for your buck for sure. It has a traditional snapback type mesh around the top, which is really nice and breathable. It does have that elastic that stretches out, and it's actually not itchy at all, which is really nice. Overall, for materials, I'm definitely gonna have to give this one a 5 out of 5. It's a really nice hat. Has some nice Apex details, like Legends Change the Game on the side and also on the inside. Overall, definitely 5 out of 5 for price as well. Can't really beat a $20 hat. I would say overall, this hat is definitely worth it. Next up, we have the Apex Change the Game Snapback hat. This one is my go-to hat. Really love this hat. Nice, slick, and black. $19.95. Again, can't really beat a $20 hat, especially if it has that same nice attention to detail with the Apex Sigil, Legends Change the Game, nice little patch up front. Highly recommend. Nice little subtle way to show some Apex style. Materials, 5 out of 5. I really enjoy this hat. It fits really well. It's super chic. Really like it. And it really completes any outfit. And for price, it's a $20 hat. Can't really go wrong here. It's a win-win for everyone. Highly, highly recommend and definitely worth it. We're down to the final item, the Legends Change the Game Distressed Coffee Mug. This coffee mug is unfortunately no longer at the shop. It is $14.95. I really hope they come back with this one. I use it every morning. Yes, the distressed areas of this mug are actually like dented in the mug. Like the mug has battle damage, like legitimately. It's really nice. It has kind of like enamel that's very reminiscent of like your traditional ceramic mugs, like campfire mugs. Really recommend this one. Materials, 5 out of 5. They really knocked it out of the park with this one. The nice little Legends Change the Game details, the battle damage, like come on. Price, $15 mug. You know, you can live with that. 5 out of 5, worth it. When it comes back, snag one. Alrighty, this one was a little bit shorter than the other one, but I hope it was useful nonetheless. Again, if you want to look over all of the shirts that I kind of reviewed earlier, check part 1 of this series. I just go over all of that. And again, any nuances that I found between the shirts. I've bought a lot of things from the official Apex merch site. So if anyone has any questions, want a recommendation on something, leave a question for me down in the comments below and I'll respond. I do plan on buying some new apparel as the new season is rolling around. They have been kind of releasing items a little slower recently, but I hope when they have a new batch of items that I can snag a bunch and maybe do a video if anyone wants to see that. I also have some other items from like affiliated Apex merchants. I have another Apex bomber jacket, a hoodie, a zip-up sweater, a couple of shirts, and maybe another 1 or 2 items. If anyone wants to see a review on that, let me know. I can even make a part 3 to this. But yeah, definitely thank you so much for watching. I very much hope this helps anyone out there, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Take care.